Thank you for joining me here this afternoon. The time is currently 1:57 p.m. Central, 2:57 p.m. Eastern, and you have a live look at a dangerous line of storms here that is currently sweeping through parts of Tennessee, Kentucky, and Ohio. This is a derecho-like event here, alright? I'm not calling it a derecho because this is not a confirmed derecho yet, but it could end up being one. Again, this is a derecho-like event where we have a large line of storms that is pretty much spanning, once again, across the entirety of Kentucky here, going all the way up through Ohio, where, we've got, a few 100-mile line long storm here where the entire line is going to have that capability to produce severe thunderstorm winds and large hail potentially, okay? And an isolated tornado or two cannot be ruled out in this line here, which is why we are live here today. We have an enhanced risk of severe weather for parts of the Ohio, Mississippi, and Tennessee valleys. All right, we got areas like Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, Kentucky. All right, you guys are all under the gun today for some potential significant severe weather here across the United States. So once again, right now the main concern is actually this massive line of storms producing damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour as it sweeps through parts of eastern Kentucky. So again, if you are included in any of these severe thunderstorm warnings, it is vitally important that you are moving indoors immediately. Some of our more considerable ones, the more dangerous ones, are going to be located again across parts of eastern Kentucky here. Currently, we have areas off to the west of Pikeville, areas like Hazard, Cumberland. Those regions are under a considerable severe thunderstorm warning, and if you are in that area, you should be seeking shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a building and away from windows. As this precautionary/preparedness actions tab says here on the severe thunderstorm warning, for your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Intense thunderstorm lines can produce brief tornadoes and widespread significant wind damage. Although a tornado is not immediately likely, it is best to move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. These storms may cause serious injury and significant property damage because, again, we could see a few the QLCS tornadoes in this line here as this continues to sweep through, again, parts of Kentucky and Ohio. An isolated tornado or two cannot be ruled out. This line actually did produce some strong tornadoes today out in western Kentucky, actually in the Mayfield vicinity. Mayfield, Kentucky, the west side of town, just went through another tornado today after the violent one they had in 2020. They just cannot catch a break. We have widespread significant damage reported all across the state of Kentucky, parts of Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, Ohio, Indiana. Just an absolutely massive line of wind damage reports as this line of storms has been sweeping through. This is downing trees, power lines, causing some structural damage to some weaker structures like mobile homes. It's vitally important that if you're in a mobile home today and you get put under a severe thunderstorm warning, you try to find a more substantial shelter because mobile homes do not do well with storms like this, okay? So again, that's kind of what we're dealing with today, is right now this massive line of storms out here in the Ohio Valley. Was North Alabama upgraded? It was, actually. Huntsville, Alabama is now included in that enhanced risk of severe weather. If we kind of take a look at the models here, we can see that Huntsville is actually going to get in on this line of storms here tonight because, yes, we have this line of storms moving through Kentucky right now, but we are expecting another line of storms, possibly even bigger than this one, to sweep through parts of Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Arkansas, Tennessee, all the way down to Mississippi and Alabama, which could produce an even higher tornado and damaging wind threat than this one did. And again, this one could go as far as northern Alabama here. So areas like Huntsville, I think that in the overnight hours, time frames like 1, 2, 3 a.m., you really got to look out because you are going to have that threat for some significant damaging winds up to 75 miles per hour, and then a possible tornado or two as well. So you got to look out in that area. I think the line will be at its strongest point just before it reaches Huntsville, though. I think areas like northeast Mississippi, northwest Alabama, all right, southeastern Tennessee, all the way up towards western Virginia here could have a very real threat for, again, some significant damaging winds and a few tornadoes as well. We can kind of see that, lines start to form here at around, let's say 2 p.m. The convection just starts booming here across parts of Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana, as well as Kentucky, and then eventually by 6 p.m., you can clearly see that line of storms forming across parts of southeastern Missouri and southern Illinois. Again, not only bringing the threat for damaging winds and possibly strong tornadoes, but also some large to very large hail that we'll have to look out for. So those are the threats today. If anybody has any questions about their location, feel free to leave those down below. I'll try to answer them accurately and honestly, but for right now, we're just going to go back to our line of storms in eastern Kentucky and kind of chill here for a minute. Look at this. This is a live look from Pikeville, Kentucky, at this line of storm sweeping through. Pikeville currently is under a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds and nickel-sized hail. So again, if you are in Pikeville, make sure that you are moving indoors immediately. Yeah, the reason they updated you this time around, Airborne, is just because this line of storms may actually make it further than we were originally predicting. Originally, we were kind of thinking a lot of the activity stays isolated, up here, kind of to areas to the north of, Tennessee. But now we're kind of thinking some of the worst of it could stretch as far south as areas like North Alabama, potentially. So, again, have a tornado action plan in place. Know what you're going to do if there is severe weather. Have multiple ways to receive alerts. Those are the best things you can do in this kind of situation. Originally we were thinking that this line of storms would be even further north starting up, all right? We were thinking, northeastern Missouri, parts of western and central Illinois here. We were thinking this is kind of where our line of storms heads. It kind of continues southeast here. We were expecting areas like St. Louis and Evansville to have the highest severe risk, but now we're thinking it kind of starts more down here in southeastern Missouri and southwestern Illinois, sweeps through an area like this, and we're thinking areas like Jackson, Tennessee, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Huntsville, Alabama. You guys might actually have the highest risk now. There have been several major changes to the forecast with this storm. By the way, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning now. I don't have my alert sounds on. Actually, this is not new. Okay. But it does have the tornado possible tag associated with it there for the Grundy area in Virginia. So, if you're in this area, make sure you are moving indoors immediately. Again, quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and a possible tornado are the main threats associated with that line of storms there for that region. We've even had some surprise severe thunderstorms up here in South Dakota today. Some of these near Rapid City are actually pretty intense. This is, a big-time hailer here, guys. This is some massive hail falling. It's warned for ping-pong ball-sized hail. It wouldn't surprise me if we were to get some lime, maybe even tennis ball-sized hail out of this. So areas like Red Shirt, make sure you are moving indoors and away from windows immediately. Again, we got some surprise hailstorms up here, especially in western South Dakota today. You can just see all that convection there across the western portion of the state. Sorry, my voice is awful today, guys. I lost my voice a couple days ago and it still hasn't come back. If we take a look at the velocities, we can just see these winds absolutely ripping. Some of the most intense spots right now could be up here heading for Waldo, Fredville, Gipsy, Martin, Dwale, Prestonburg. All these areas here in eastern Kentucky could have the threat for, again, 70 to maybe even 75 or 80-mile-per-hour winds in isolated occurrences. So again, if you're in this area, make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately. Again, very dangerous line of storms here. Odd, you're only in the 5% yet. I'm in the enhanced. You think you'll get a tornado watch? So I actually think you'll probably get it kind of depends on what this line of storms does whenever it's further to the north of you, but I definitely think you're either going to get a severe thunderstorm watch or a tornado watch at some point late tonight. Again, it's kind of hard to predict exactly what the severity of the situation will be for the Huntsville area, but again, a severe thunderstorm or a tornado watch is very likely for that area at some point tonight, I would say, around 10, 11 p.m. it may get issued, and then again, that line of storms will kind of hit you around 1 to 2, maybe even 3 a.m. So, again, make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts on hand so you know if severe weather is impacting your area. But, yeah, I think you'll definitely have a chance to get a watch. The reason you're only in the 5% tornado risk is because the tornado threat today is not ridiculously high, right? As I said, we have had some strong tornadoes today already in western Kentucky, but I think we're probably, not going to see anything else like that for the rest of the day because of how linear, oh my gosh, my voice is awful, because of how linear this system is here. It's not going to bring the threat for strong tornadoes, at least. I'm thinking maybe a few weaker ones are definitely likely across that line there, but I'm not expecting too many strong tornadoes. So that's why they don't actually have anything higher than a 5% for the Huntsville areas, just because of how linear this system is. All right, the tornado threat is going to decrease, but the damaging wind threat is going to skyrocket because of that. All right, you're on that 30% risk of damaging wind gusts. You might get a hatched indicator added onto that. That would not shock me at all. In fact, I'm kind of expecting it. So again, hail and wind are the main threats for you, but an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. But again, damaging winds are honestly very likely there. Again, you have a 30% chance to see damaging winds of 60 miles per hour or higher in Huntsville in a time in between now and 7 a.m. at any point. But again, most likely around 1, 2, 3 a.m. Let's go in double box here. We'll double box the reflectivity and the velocities just to get, a look at this line of storms here. Unfortunately, it's so large, we have to switch between multiple radar sites to look at it. But for the most part, we're going to stick with our one here in Jackson, Kentucky. This is a pretty good view here, a pretty decent view at least at this spot. Let me see if I have any new information for you guys. So something that's relatively new, it's not brand new, but as of about 32 minutes ago, the Storm Prediction Center did issue Mesoscale Discussion 979. A watch may be needed soon for the monitoring. They're monitoring for a supercell potential. With tornado and very large hail threat across parts of Missouri, Kansas, and Oklahoma. There's a 60% chance of either a severe thunderstorm or more likely a tornado watch being issued for that area, actually. And then we also have Mesoscale Discussion 978 now. This is for the tornado watch that we have in effect for parts of Tennessee. The severe threat continues across Tornado Watch 315. Damaging gusts are the main threat, though a tornado remains possible. Local extensions in space and time of Tornado Watch 315 may be needed. And the best air mass supporting severe thunderstorms is going to be in this little corridor here, areas in between Franklin all the way out towards Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Almost. So, there you have it. By the way, these are nearly surface-based storms here. These are not very tall at all. Some of them are getting, 46,000 feet tall, but that is the max. 47,000 feet is the max out of anywhere in this entire line across multiple states. These are, again, mostly surface-based storms, actually, for the most part, almost. We're talking about most of the heights in here being around 30,000 feet. Hello, Tornado Out of Gaming. But yeah. May have some sort of rotation trying to develop here, by the way. This is near Big Stone Gap in, is that Kentucky? No, that's Virginia. We could see a QLCS tornado try to develop out of this. Got this little bit poking out of the line as well. By the way, we already have 5 casualties confirmed from yesterday's Texas tornado alone. Or the Texas tornadoes alone. Just absolutely insane, the period of severe weather that we're going through. I've never seen anything like it. In the over a year that we've been doing weather now, or I've been doing weather now anyway, I've never seen anything this drastic. We do have a pretty high risk for flash flooding actually today. We have a moderate risk of excessive rainfall, meaning flash flooding guidance within 25 miles of any given point across parts of southwestern Kentucky, far north central Tennessee, southern Illinois, and then southeastern Missouri here. This includes areas like Cape Girardeau, Hopkinsville, Madisonville, all the way out towards Bowling Green, Campbellsville, and Somerset. Again, that is a 40% chance of flash flooding within 25 miles of any given point, which is very concerning, actually. And then even going into tomorrow, we have a couple of slight risks of flash flooding, a slight risk of flash flooding in the northeast. Do we have anything for Tuesday? I haven't checked yet. Yeah, we do actually. We have a pretty large slight risk. So, even though the severe weather threat over the next few days is going to be ramping down, flash flooding will remain possible. And again, the severe weather threat for today and tomorrow remain extremely high. Tuesday it's questionable, but we'll just have to see. Again, today is probably going to be our last 10% hatch risk for a tornado for a long time, which is a good thing. I mean, for the past month, a month ago from today, April 26th, we got our first big tornado outbreak. Ever since then, we've had a tornado outbreak almost every single day. Which is just absolutely ridiculous. And we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning now that's going to be for Hocking, Vinton, Fairfield, Pickaway, and Ross counties, Ohio. That is for the Lancaster area. That's for the threat of 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts. So if you're in that area, make sure that you are moving indoors immediately. That also includes Chillicothe. Our highest swath of winds right now is going to be in areas along Highway 23 to the south of Chillicothe, Ohio. Again, heading off to the northeast towards areas like Schrader, Rupels, Mooresville, get all the way out towards Haines, Laurelville, South Perry, Mountain Crossing, Gibsonville, Rock Bridge, Sugar Grove, Swartz Mill, Enterprise, Geneva, Hideaway Hills, and Bremen. And the direct path of that swath of winds, and again, everywhere in the warning, you should be moving indoors, as far out as Lancaster, Ohio. And as far south as Chillicothe. Chillicothe, I think it is. Does anybody from there know how to pronounce that from that area? Is it Chillicothe or Chillicothe? I've never known. I've heard both. I think it's Chillicothe, though. Yeah, April 26th did definitely kickstart all this. Ever since then, we've just had extremely active weather, and a lot of days it was unexpected. Like, some days like today, we were expecting this to happen, but others, it was just a massive surprise. And really, even today, it kind of shocked me whenever we had that PDS tornado near Mayfield this morning. And again, we had another tornado that went actually through Mayfield as well. Apparently, there were people trapped in a home near Sedalia, which is not good, obviously. That was to the south of Mayfield. The description on it says possible tornado. It's almost certainly from an actual tornado, because there was a tornado that ripped through that area. We just weren't sure if it was still on the ground at that point or not, and that's what caused the damage or not. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning now, by the way. That is going to be for areas like Pikeville. That is for the threat of 60-mile-per-hour damaging wind gusts, nickel-sized hail, and a possible tornado. We already have a warning for this area, but apparently they really wanted to emphasize that there is a possible tornado in this isolated corridor of winds here, moving through Wheelwright, Pikeville, Betsy Lane, and then also Elkhorn City in Kentucky. So again, if you're in this area, make sure that you are moving indoors immediately. Again, our tornado threat on this storm near Harvey is trying to increase here, guys. Could see a QLCS tornado. You were up by Rogers really late last night and saw the tornadoes in northwestern Arkansas. You saw the twins near Decatur. No footage, though. That's awesome. Yeah, was the tornado in Arkansas last night PDS? I was not up during it. I was not up at 3:30, but I knew about it at this point. Looks like it was pretty big. We got some reports of home damage, tree damage, and power line damage. Kind of your typical weak to moderate strength tornado damage there. But yeah, if you know, was it PDS or not? Yes, there were PDS. Okay. There were twins near Decatur. Gotcha. And our severe thunderstorm warning on near Gate City. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and again a possible tornado. So you got to take that seriously and make sure that you are moving indoors in Gate City, Fort Blackmore, and Dungannon. If we were to get a tornado anywhere in the whole country right now, my highest confidence would be in this spot. So take that how you will. Your Stickleyville and Jasper, as well as Duffield. Again, it's not like super concerning at the moment, but nowhere really is for a tornado. It's really just a straight line damage that we got to worry about. And we have an extremely large and long-lasting severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Kentucky, Ohio, and West Virginia here for the Huntington-Ashland area. 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds, quarter-sized hail, and a possible tornado are threats for Boyd County in northeastern Kentucky, central Greenup County in northeastern Kentucky, Lawrence County in northeastern Kentucky, southeastern Carter County in northeastern Kentucky, southern Lawrence County in southeastern Ohio, southwestern Cabell County in central West Virginia, northwestern Lincoln County in central West Virginia, and Wayne County in western West Virginia. Yes, all of those counties are in that severe thunderstorm warning right now. So if you're in that area, make sure that you are moving indoors immediately. It's visible on radar. There were 2 deep CC drops just about 5 to 10 miles east of each other, or from each other. Gotcha. We're going back to single boxing. Sorry, I like making noise when I'm bored. Ask anybody that knows me. Jokes aside, this line of storms actually did roll through my neck of the woods this morning, and I did get some awesome storm footage from it, so I'm going to upload that to YouTube here at some point over the next few days. It is now raining in Pikeville, Kentucky. Look at that. Got almost 200 people watching the Pikeville radar mega cyclone report right now. From Ryan Holy, y'all. So again, we have a swath of very high winds here. Near Prestonburg, Painesville, Van Leer, and Betsy Lane. So if you're in this area, make sure that, again, you're moving indoors, lowest floor of a building, in an interior room immediately, as this swath of winds could be up to 70 miles per hour. These damaging winds could be easily. So again, take cover now. If you are in that area right now, those are just absolutely ripping through areas to the northwest of Prestonburg and to the west of Cliff here. Currently going down Abbott Creek Road, probably causing some tree, power line, and maybe some minor structural damage to some weaker structures, like mobile homes. Again, if you're in a mobile home, you got to evacuate. Very strong line of storms. A mobile home will not do well with this. I can almost guarantee you that much. So make sure that you're evacuating mobile homes in a situation like this. And this storm has an insane hook echo here in Tennessee. It's had this feature for a while, but it's really starting to wrap up there as it approaches the Bon Aqua Junction area there. On Highway 7, looks like it is rotating a little bit, so we'll have to watch this. This could be our next big tornado potential, or tornado-producing potential here. Wow. Okay, so yeah, that is there all of a sudden. Okay, we will likely get, at the very least, the tornado possible tag on this severe thunderstorm warning, but they may go just straight for a tornado warning. So if you're in Bon Aqua Junction, Burns, or Fairview, prepare to take shelter and prepare for a tornado warning to get issued. Get your, whatever you need whenever you're taking shelter. Get ready. If you're in a mobile home, just get out of there now before this is too late. Right now, this is rolling through Bates, Wrigley, Lyles, and Bon Aqua Junction in particular. But again, everyone in the path of this little supercell here needs to look out for this. This is a very dangerous one. Because of its environment and how discreet it is, this could have the potential to produce a big-time tornado here, guys. It's kind of cut off from this big line of storms, and it's starting to split from another little cell here connected to the line of storms. So once this splits off, I mean, the tornado potential is just going to skyrocket with this thing. The only reason we didn't have, that 10% hatch risk going all the way out here is because we weren't sure if we were going to be able to get to, I guess it does go all the way out here, but out here, the only reason we don't have that 10% hatch risk of a tornado is because we weren't sure if we were going to be able to get discrete supercells or not, but this could turn into one, so this could have the potential, the very real potential to produce a strong tornado, or at least a tornado in general, if it continues to be discrete. It's a big if there. I don't want to start throwing these words out and scaring people, but there is the very real potential that this does produce a tornado over the next several minutes, or at least the next, 30 minutes or so. So we have to watch it. Again, as that heads directly for Bon Aqua Junction, areas like Nanelli's good, Rodmer, Mill Creek, Grove, however you pronounce that name, Rodmer. Again, this is just a very dangerous storm here at the moment, guys. Alright, let's get into coverage mode here. This is why we were going live today, is because we were worried about a potential tornado of our line of storms here. Actually, this is a different line than the main one we were talking about, but anyway, that is the weirdest shape I've ever seen on a hook echo. Look, it almost wraps all the way back around. So it just looks like one big storm there with a hole in the middle. Let's wait for this velocity update. Your rotation will be located somewhere in here now, near Bates. Yep. And again, this is moving towards Lyles, Wrigley, and Bon Aqua Junction over the next several minutes here. So again, prepare to take shelter if necessary. Again, you don't need to take shelter yet. We've got a few minutes here. This isn't tornado warned yet, and it may not go tornado warned. It may weaken out entirely, but just prepare for the worst. Here's what I'm trying to say. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for parts of West Virginia and Kentucky for the next hour and 19 minutes. Same thing for a county here in South Dakota for one of our big hailstorms in South Dakota. Same thing for another hailstorm in South Dakota. All right. And it was around here that this was the most concerning, and it still is pretty concerning. It looks weird. This was whenever it was the most impressive on reflectivity, that's what I'll say. It's kind of whenever it really caught my eye, and we started being hyper-focused on this little storm here. I mean, it is really rotating a little bit there. Near Bates at the moment. Probably off to the northeast of Bates now. It's going to kind of ride Pinewood Road as it heads towards areas like Lyles and Bon Aqua Junction. Get into the south of Bon Aqua. Near Lyles, to the north of Wrigley. Going to cross the intersection of State Highway 46 and State Highway 100 very soon, most likely. Then head towards areas like Tidwell. And we're just waiting for this next reflectivity update here. It should be any minute now. It may actually take a few minutes because the last one took 5 minutes to come in, but if they see this storm, it may take a little bit less time for them to update the radar there. And, okay, yep, it did take a little less time. Of course, as soon as I switched away, it happened. Wow. I mean, that is just a weird hook there, guys. Rotation will be somewhere in here now. Getting near Lyles, in between Lyles and Bates, most likely. Yep. I know this over here near Grove looks like rotation, but that's actually just some contamination in there. Hold on, guys. I gotta stretch out. Sorry. I know I regretted this last time I did this, but I have an idea. Hear me out. Just hear me out, okay? Before you start laughing and I mess up my stream again, just hear me out. I promise you this will go better than last time. Well, I can't promise you that, but I'm hoping for that, okay? I really am. I'm going to do something here that will hopefully improve the stream quality, make things a little bit more professional around here. Let's just try it out, see how it goes, and if it goes terrible, we'll never do it again. We don't ever have to do it ever again. Okay, that's not bad. Oh, wait. Now we can get a little face cam up and going here. And let's see how this looks. Give me just a second here, you guys. Yeah, shrink it down, don't worry. Nobody wants to see my ugly face that big. Alright, now let's see how that looks. By the way, our storm near Bon Aqua Junction continues to be concerning here. With its rotation now near Lyles and Wrigley, in between the two towns, most likely. Yeah, there we go. That's not too bad at all. I like that, actually. I really do. I think we could benefit from making the camera a little bit bigger, though. I'm not sure how far out I need to go to do this, but let's make something like this here. There we go. Sorry, I'm just trying to look at how this is looking right now. Okay, that's good. I like that. This is actually really nice. I made my stream better for once without actually breaking it. Of course, I probably just jinxed us, but I'm not going to change anything because I like it like this. So there's no need to make any more improvements, Davis. Just keep it like this. You like it like this. It's good like this. It's better than what you had before. Now stop here before you go too far. Please, I beg of you. The quality is a little bit lower, but still not terrible. You can still read things pretty clearly. Check up on some of our hailstorms up here in South Dakota. I mean, those are just some absolutely massive hailers right there. Again, unexpected ones to say the least as well. And we do have some convection getting going, by the way, out here in the plains, so we will likely see that tornado or severe thunderstorm watch get issued over the next several minutes here. Or at least the next several hours, I would say. Sorry, give me just a minute here, guys. I do have an update, by the way, on our severe thunderstorm watch. The severe threat will continue across severe thunderstorm watches 316 and 317. Damage and gusts remain the primary threat through afternoon. A new severe thunderstorm watch may be needed here. By here, they mean across parts of eastern Ohio, northwestern West Virginia. Areas that don't already have that severe thunderstorm watch. We may see a mesoscale for that. Honestly, they may not issue a mesoscale. They may just jump straight to the watch since they've already mentioned it in this one. But anyway, I think for right now, since we don't have any ongoing tornado warnings, we are going to end off the live stream here. I do want to thank you all for tuning in. We will be back later whenever we are needed. But anyway, thank you all for... Oh, wait, sorry. We have a chat message. Yukon, Oklahoma. I mean, for the most part, Oklahoma is just fine today. I'm not really expecting anything for Oklahoma. Maybe far northeastern Oklahoma, but Yukon is fine. No storms at all or anything anyway. So, again, thank you all for tuning into this severe weather coverage live stream. It's been pretty eventful, and I'm assuming the next one will be too. So make sure to come back, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace. Dang, I got rid of OBS. How do I bring that back up? There we go.